Hello and welcome to this webinar brought to you by OpenApp. This is Hani Min as the project manager for the clinical patient management system. In today's webinar, I would like to take you on a tour to explore the consultation form. And before that, I just want to give you the basic navigation of the system. From the screen that you see in front of you now, I have logged into the system successfully and I got into the global dashboard where I can see a list of the applications that I have permissions to explore and get an access to, and also in the middle panel I can see all the training videos that were uploaded before into the system, and on the right hand side you can see all the documentation that helps you to understanding better the system, and there are a wide range of documentation that you can go through. I will go as a Doctor 1 in this webinar to my center, and my center is Strasbourg Hospital University in France, and this is the dashboard of my center. And in order to go and open a consultation form, it requires that you go to your patient list first, to one of the enrolled patients. I will go to David, and then these are the list of the panels that had been already opened for this patient, and I'm going to open a new panel. And here we are exactly in the consultation form. Before I start demonstrating the consultation form, I would like just to give you a brief introduction and some information on how the consultation form was built into the system. The consultation form in the CPMS is the heart of the consultation process on which experts and specialists can collaborate to reach a consensus for diagnosis and treatment. All ERNs, the 24 ERNs, will be using one generic dataset known as basic dataset in the CPMS. However, further in the customization phase of the CPMS, an extended dataset will be developed based on individual needs of each ERN. It's highly expected that each ERN will have a unique dataset to collect for some condition or specific disease areas. But what we are introducing today in the CPMS is a very generic form that can cater for all the needs of ERNs, and later on we advise and request you to send any customization request to DigiSante through the support email. There are three types of user on the CPMS who can edit the consultation form here. Firstly, the enrolling clinician. So as a Doctor 1, I have enrolled this patient, David Smith, and I have opened a new panel for him, and that's why I can enter data into the consultation form. Similarly, will be any other healthcare professional from the same hospital. So if I'm a Doctor 1 in Strasbourg Hospital University, I can share my patient consultation form with other colleagues working in the same center, and they have the same right to edit the patient data. And lastly, will be the panel lead who will be actually authorized to go and fill in more information into the consultation form. Very quickly, I want to grab your attention that the consultation form is divided into several data sections on the left hand side in the anchor menu, and the minimum amount of data required to open a panel and invite panel members is the consultation request section, which starts with the nickname. The nickname is the consultation form is quite unique mechanism to protect and keep the patient identity away from other healthcare professionals who do not work. So the nickname allows patients to keep their identity kept away from unauthorized access, and it's a validation mechanism that can actually protect also revealing any identifying data. So it says here, do not use any nicknames liable to identity the patient, including her first name or last name. So if this patient is called David Smith, so if I write David here, the system generates an error message here that says, please do not use any identifying data for this patient. But if I write Peter, for instance, then the system accepts that as a nickname. So I'm going to fill out the first section in the consultation form, which is required, as we said earlier, for opening a panel. And there is another question if this panel was a repeat of any previous panels or it's a new. So I'm going to say no. And the consultation request description short. So I very briefly describe the case here or the reason why I'm opening a panel. So I need diagnosis consultation for my patient, for instance. And then I tick the box here that I'm looking for a diagnosis. The consultation request reason description. Here I write more description about the condition or the patient or what I'm exactly looking for. So you are experts, so I presume you will have enough text right here. I'm just gonna write some test values, and automatically the system generates the healthcare provider as Hospital University of Strasbourg in this field, and the point of care specialist if this patient was referred from another hospital or another healthcare provider or belong to another doctor at a different hospital. Then I just can write that this is Dr. Smith. And I would assume that this patient belongs to ERNI. So those are the ERNs in which my center is part of. So my hospital in France is part of 4 ERNs here. So I select ERNI for example, and then it shows me all users in my hospital who are part of ERNI. So I'm Dr. 1, and then I select the primary thematic area. Let's say it's retina. The secondary thematic area, I would say neuro-ophthalmology, rare disease. Once you have filled all the fields in the consultation request section, you will be allowed actually to save the form. Once you have saved the form, you will be taken to a view mode of the consultation form on the left hand side and the timeline on the right hand side, and you will see the panel banner on the top with the indicator of the workflow that starts with open and the panel selection and the data completion and so on until you reach closing the panel and generating an outcome. On the banner of the panel, you can see also the information on the center that enrolled this patient and also the panel lead and which ERN to which this request belong and in which thematic area. I would like also to draw your attention again to the consultation form that there are a number of sections here like the patient information where you can find some fields where you can check several classification systems. So the system is supporting a wide range of clinical ontology systems like ICD-10, Orphanet, IEEE, and Loying and Medra, and we will go through some of them today. So you can find some of the multi-check boxes here that, for instance, for the birth complication, I can check multiple classification systems I'm interested to use. So for Loying, I can say I can use I don't know. Yeah, this is one of the values, and Medra, for instance. Medra is a hierarchical system. So in some fields you will find this magnifier sign. So when you click here, you will get a picker where you can go across different levels of the classification system. So if this patient belongs to ERNI, I would say it's an eye disorder, and I am gonna say that this is vision disorder, and go at lower level of the classification system, just to pick one condition. When you find that there is asterisk here beside the field, that means that this field is required, and you just have to enter some values. Okay, I'm gonna save. When you go, for instance, to the rare disease diagnosis, which is a very important section, you will find a search widget here for all coding system used for diagnosis. And this is actually meant for junior doctors or healthcare professionals who are not familiar with the ontology or coding system of diseases and conditions. So the CPMS provides a search widget in some sections in the form to help users select a medical condition without any prior knowledge to any of the coding system like ICD-10 or Orphanet. So I can pick some of the classification system here directly, or if I'm not familiar with any of them, I can use the search widget here and write, for instance, the condition itself, and then it shows me the classification system next to it. And if I'm interested, for instance, to go through different level in the classification system, I can again select the classification system here and go to the picker and select the condition, the most precise condition related to this patient. I can select multiple diagnosis coding system, I333, I will go to the retinoblastoma, select this condition, select the histology and the topography. And for Orphanet as well, it's a hierarchical system. So I will go and look for eye diseases. Select this guy here. Again, there are some multi-check boxes like here, and there are some radio button where you can choose only one individual value. So I would say that this healthcare provider is part of the ERN. I choose this hospital in Austria, and the treatment center, let's say it's in France, and I say that there was some diagnostic test code was done here, so I just enter a value from Loic. I can also attach a document here into the results if I'm having any medical document that supports the diagnosis. I'm going to save the form. Similar will be the comorbidity. The episode description is a really rich section where you can enter a lot of the patient history about main symptoms, current treatment, exam findings, and upload documents also if you are interested. So if you click here attachment, then you can click on attachment and upload a file. And there is always a safeguard in the consultation form that actually requests the user not to upload any identifying data. So when you are interested to attach a file, you will get this box here, the prompt message saying, by ticking this checkbox, you confirm that no identifiable personal data are presented in the uploaded file. If you don't want to upload files, you can share them in a virtual meeting by sharing your screen and with other participants. So I can upload an image, for instance, and I attach it. Okay. Notable to say also in the phenotype and genetic feature section that you will actually be prompted with a number of genetic ontology system that you can use from, like the GNC, and also you select the DNA variants and the RNA variants and the protein variants. You can also get some information about the phenotype abnormalities from the human phenotype ontology system, and just select some values. I would like also to draw your attention that in the family history section, there is a pedigree tool actually where you can draw a family tree with all the condition that's suspected or was confirmed for this patient. So in the family history, you can just answer the questions here very trivially. And there will be another webinar actually around the pedigree, but just to let you know that there is a webinar drawing tool in the consultation form. So very quickly I can demonstrate it here. However, there is another webinar for demonstrating the pedigree. I can add parent. Let's say this is his father, male, he was deceased, he was carrier, and he has a phenotype abnormality with that. And his father has a partner. And she was affected, tested, and she had that condition. And when you hover with the mouse here, you can get the description of the HPO abnormality. I'm going to save the form. What's really important and interesting here is when you go to the medical documents. The medical document is a very rich section in the consultation form, and this is where actually you will be requested to upload any scans or any radiology or pathology images for your patient. You can also upload the PDF files, and there is actually a quite definitive list of the uploaded format that the CPMS supports in terms of security and visualization. So if I hit this button attach files, I will get prompted with this safeguard message that says, by ticking the checkbox you confirm that no identifiable personal data are present in the uploaded files. If you consider the files contain identifiable personal data that would be useful in medical context, you can share them in a virtual meeting by sharing your screen with other participants. So if you have some materials that you are interested to share with other people, but it contains some identifying data, we do really advise you like not to upload it into the system, but you can just share part of it by sharing your screen in a virtual meeting. Here you can just drop and drag icon files or other files. So I will go here and attach some documents. Once I get all the documents that I have successfully uploaded into the system, just close it. And I can see here the medical documents split into two different sections, attachments and DICOM. And the difference is the DICOM is viewed in the medical viewer and the attachment is previewed or can be uploaded separately or downloaded by other users looking into the panel. So I'm going to save the form and close it. I come here to the view mode of the consultation form. I see all the data that I have entered. Okay. I see also here the pedigree. I can play with that. And in the attachment, I can preview JPEG files. Okay. I can also leave some comments. This patient needs whatever you would like to ask for, and just leave your comment. So this is the JPEG or the image or the picture files. It can be seen here in the attachment. And the DICOM files, it can be seen in the DICOM study section. So this is where you can see actually the medical viewer, and it's a certified medical device. So it's safe to use it for medical diagnostics. I just can drag the studies that I have here, okay, and I can switch between different files or different studies that I have uploaded before. So I can just drag and drop whatever study I want to see. And if you look at the screen here, you can't see any identifying data. You can only see the nickname of the patient and the sequential number of the panel. You can use different types actually of annotation tools in the top bar here. I'm not an expert to tell you which one to use for what, but you can find the documentation here of the viewer by clicking here. It takes you to a PDF file where you can find a user manual for the viewer. You can annotate the image very easily, and there will be also there is already another webinar available for using the medical viewer. You will find it on the training server. So just if you go back to the global dashboard, you will find all the uploaded webinars. But this is where you can access and view the medical document that you attach. It's also important to know that the consultation form can be only edited in 2 stages in the workflow. So when you open a panel, you are allowed to edit the consultation form, but when you transition the workflow to the panel selection, the system doesn't allow you to edit the form, because at that time other experts or specialists are looking at the material and the information available in your patient to decide whether or not they are joining the meeting or joining your panel. And afterwards, if any of them request more information after you have invited your panel members, then you transition the workflow to the data completion, and again, and for the last time, you get the edit button here where you can edit the form. So I'm gonna add the section of surgical procedures. I'm gonna say that this was a laparoscopy surgery, for instance, and just give the date. What if I want to add special treatment intervention? Probably I'm gonna say that this guy received some hormonal therapy, and write some comments here, and I can also attach a file, and then I can save the form again and close it and go back to the view mode. If you want to see the valid formats of the document that you can upload into the system, you can go here to the little menu in the help center and go to the frequently asked question. And we prompted with a lot of questions asked here, and one of them is what medical image that you can see into the form. What format? So you can see here that it can be PDF, it can be Excel files with different types of subformats or subclasses, Word documents, open documents, images and videos and audio files. I would also draw your attention that in the medical document section, you can actually use different mechanisms to upload documents, which is batch upload, and this might require a bit advanced of IT competences and require that you have some special software like FileZilla or WinZip installed in your machine. And I presume the IT department in your hospital can help you when you are interested to upload large files that exceeds hundreds of megabytes into the system, because they understand what's written here on the screen, and they have some special software on their computer to transfer large file from the local system or the local disk on your center into the CPMS if needed. The only thing that you just have to do is to set up a HTTP password and give them this password and give them your username. So to And actually, I have finished the webinar. Thank you very much for your time, and I do encourage all of you to come along with any question that might arise, and also to get yourself familiar with the training system, because this actually what makes you more comfortable to use the live system and experiment every single function and feature into the system yourself. Thank you very much, and we are looking forward to welcoming you in different webinars. Bye-bye.